What's up, guys? I just wanted to do a little comparison on two blade types for sabers. These are both heavy grade dueling blades. These are not the most optimum setup for light and color. This is more aimed at people who want to duel with their sabers, but at the same time, even if you plan on just tooling with it, you want the best color. You want the most even, brightest blade you can get that's also duelable. So these are two that I've kind of narrowed down as far as the custom option on this side being the best setup. You've got a few options if you go the custom route, and by custom route I mean ordering parts from the Custom Saber Shop and assembling your own blade. I know one option is you can go with a clear polycarbonate tubing and their diffuser that goes inside that is just a long piece of plastic that looks like this, that diffuses the light. And I've got one of their round tips on here, and this is a great setup, but you only see the light here. It doesn't shine all the way out to the edge of the tube, so you kind of get that light in a plastic tube look that's not very desirable. So I don't know if this is the best option. I tried sanding it at the bottom here to see if it would help, and it did maybe a little bit, but I don't think this is necessarily the best option. I mostly ordered this because at the time of building my first saber, this was all they had in stock, so that was what I went with. The other option, not talking about day blades, by the way, this is just a clear blade. You have this, what I'm going to refer to as frosted tubing. It's the exact same as the other tubing, but it's got almost like a, I don't want to say translucent white because there's no, you can't see through it at all, but it's a frosted or foggy white. And you can also use the diffuser with this. This diffuses very well on its own. This just helps. So there's that, and then if you really want to take it up another notch, you can do kind of like what I did on this, and I used 120 grit sandpaper along the whole blade. You can kind of see the marks there, and that makes it look, I don't know if it's going to pick up, but it just takes the sheen off of it, and I feel like it really makes it look less tube-like. And I'm running a bullet tip that has been super glue gelled into the inside there. I found that to be very, very durable for dueling. So to me, as far as the Custom Saber Shop, and not using a film, I think this is the best setup that I have found experimenting with different tubes and whatnot. This will run you, I think, a little under 20 bucks. I know it's around $5 and change for the tip. I believe $4 for the diffuser and 10 or 11 bucks. So yeah, right about around 20 bucks, not counting shipping. If you buy this on its own with shipping, I think it's around $7. So you're looking at $27 versus the Saberforge Infinity blade version 4. This is a $30 blade. I don't know what it would be just to ship the blade because I bought this at the showroom. And this is very similar in it's some sort of a foggy glass, although it looks a little more translucent, and they use a film inside. They also use a threaded tip that has a very long inner part. Let's see if I can show you an actual side-by-side. You can kind of see there how much further that goes in, about twice as much. And like I said, it's threaded and glued. So super durable. I've heard that pretty much the only way for this to come off is the blade will actually break and it will come out. But the tip itself will not come out on its own, from what I've seen. So that's definitely a big feature to me, because if you aren't careful, you will lose the plugs on the do-it-yourself version a lot. I found the gel super glue to be pretty durable and not, you don't have to worry about it running or dripping down the blade where you can see it if that happens. I think on this one, not with it lit up. If this one gets lit up, you can see the gel all around it because I put too much on. So just be careful, it doesn't take a lot. Excuse me. But anyway, so these, you've got your Custom Saber Shop, your Custom Saber Shop blade, your Saberforge blade. These are running the exact same setup internally, so they're both 32-inch blades. So when I fire these up, you'll get a really good comparison as to how they look. So here we go. So this is an open, or in daylight, I should say. I've got the door open right here. From this angle, you can see a little more white at the base from the custom route, but you do see that white reflectiveness at the end. Some people may like that. I think the general consensus is evenness throughout the blade is more important. So now I'm going to go along the side. They're looking pretty even. You can almost see a little more of that bright yellow on the Infinity blade, whereas the custom route is a more even look of the red. And there you can really see the tips. Let's see if you can see the shine through. They shouldn't really shine through, but yeah, nothing really coming through. So while the Infinity blade almost looks a little brighter, it's going to be a little harder to see on the camera. It almost is a more even red. And so now I'm going to shut the door and see how much that affects it. So they look about the same with the door shut in darkness. I mean, they honestly, to me, they both look great. It's really a preference on whether you want even kind of a consistent red throughout, or whether you really want kind of those bright spots. Personally, I'm a big fan of having just that blinding bright coming right off the hilt. To me, that just looks cool. I like that, and I think you almost get a little more of that with the Infinity blade. But I would probably, if I had to give an edge, it would be to go on the custom route. Because I'm just a fan of going the custom route on things. But when you pick them up, there's a big weight difference. I don't know if it's the film that they use in the Infinity blade, but it is really, really heavy. I mean, it is a really heavy blade. For spinning and stuff, that might be a good thing, having that weight more towards the end of the saber versus down at the hilt. It just feels a little weird to me. And also there's the price point. This is $10 cheaper, not counting shipping. I think the Infinity blade, you definitely get what you pay for in that regard, as far as you're getting, somebody has to roll the film up, they have to put the film in it, it's got a nicer tip. I think it's it's worth the $30. This is worth the $20, but for the $10 more, when we're talking about thick-walled dueling blades, at the end of the day, I'm going to give the slight edge, on personal opinion, to going the custom route. That is going to depend very much on the person, but hopefully from this video, like I said, I showed you a door open with light shining right from here onto the blades, and with it shut, you can get a really good comparison of what they're going to look like. Yes, they appear slightly different in the footage versus in person, but it's the difference is going to remain the same. So hopefully that will help you choose. I really hope at some point I can get a hold of a Vader's Vault blade, because I've heard nothing but good things about them. There's so many options from them, it would be really hard to kind of compare. I guess I'll just have to go with whatever their most basic standard blade is. Maybe throw that into the mix and give you guys a really good comparison of those three. But these are the two I have. These are kind of my two favorite blades. I think running this without a diffuser for the money, I think it's $3 for the round tip and 10 or 11 bucks for the blade, which you really can't beat under 15 bucks for something that to me still looks great. So if you're really, really going budget, that's an excellent way to go as well. If you're spending a little more money, the diffuser is worth spending a couple bucks extra, especially because if you order it separately, they can't guarantee that it will come to you not broken, because they ship it actually in the blade. So it's almost worth the $4 to just buy it, try it, or if you know that you just want something that will hold the light that you can duel with, just pick up the frosted blade, run some sandpaper over it, and that's going to do you just as well. In the heat of dueling, who's paying attention to the brightness of the blade? So, like I said, hopefully this helps you guys decide. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up, thumbs down, and subscribe if you like seeing videos talking about saber stuff. Thanks for watching.